Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then hi, my name is Erica, and today I am going to be talking about Peter Dinklage. Well, not really just Peter Dinklage, but just disability media representation and the real issue at play here. So if you don't know who Peter Dinklage is, he's been in Game of Thrones. I think he was an elf. He's gonna be in this new movies here now. He's been in a ton of different things, and he is a little person. So a lot of the disabled community has criticisms of him because they don't feel he's very vocal about disability issues and representation in the media, and they feel that he is just reaping the benefits of this, but he's not advocating and he's not paying it forward for other actors with disabilities and just disabled people in general. But I'm not really here to argue that, which may be surprising to people. It may not be, I don't know. But if you don't know, recently it's been announced that Disney is making a new live action Snow White. Now, Disney is constantly remaking Snow White. I don't know why they keep doing it, but they're doing, like, there was one with like Lily Collins and Julia Roberts, whatever. But anyway, they're remaking this movie, and of course the film is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So they were going to cast 7 little people, or at least a few little people, to have some disability representation. But Peter Dinklage raised concerns because he said the trope was archaic and that a lot of times little people are typecast as like munchkins in the Wizard of Oz, or dwarves in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And so because of this backlash, Disney basically scrapped that whole idea and was like, fuck it, let's just do CGI and make the dwarves these mystical creatures. Whatever the hell that means, I don't know. I am not in on this project, so don't ask me. But so they're like, oh, fuck this. Let's not even have to deal with the disabled community. Let's just do CGI instead. Mind you, actors already auditioned for the roles, and while I don't believe anybody was offered a role, like when you audition for something, you don't want to find out that the role was then just scrapped because they're like, oh, well, we don't want to deal with the disabled community, or we don't want to deal with backlash from this community. And so now a lot of disabled people are blaming Peter Dinklage for this. But I don't really understand why. Because I don't believe he was involved in the project in any way. So, like, he just spoke out against it and was like, I think it's messed up that they keep remaking this deeply problematic story. And by the way, there's even, like, Snow White is just a deeply problematic story to begin with, and I don't know if we should just keep remaking it for no apparent reason. Like, it's like, how many times can you really reinvent the wheel? But anyway, that's besides the point. But so now a lot of disabled people are mad at him, and they're like, whoa, what the fuck? Why did he have to say anything? Now he's like the only actor who gets roles in Hollywood who's a little person, and people who are trying to come up and are trying to make a name for themselves now cannot. But I don't know how fair that is, because while I do believe disabled actors should advocate because they're in a unique position in the media, I can also see it from the perspective of somebody who's trying to be successful, and they don't want to be a problem. They don't want to be known as the actor who is always complaining and nothing is ever good enough for them. And I think as marginalized people, we all kind of have that fear in the back of our head that if we advocate too much, if we push the envelope too much, and then people who we're working with are just going to be like, well, we don't even want to deal with that person anymore because there are more problems than they're worth. And I don't think that's fair that as marginalized people, we have to walk on eggshells constantly, and we have to be overqualified for things, and we have to be respectable and like overly polite in order to get anywhere in the world. But unfortunately, right now, that is the reality of disabled people. Now, I will say, Peter Dinklage has won an Emmy, and he is a pretty well-known actor now. So I do think he might be at the point in his career where he may be in a better position to advocate for things and to use his voice to bring awareness to things without facing too many repercussions. But I don't know, because people get blacklisted in Hollywood all the time for stupid reasons. So I don't know if he could do, like, he may not want to keep advocating for things, because a lot of actors who end up doing that end up not getting a lot of roles because people are scared to work with them, which is fucked up. And that's the real issue in Hollywood, is that Hollywood doesn't want to change. It will do like surface level changes, but it will not change the whole structure of itself until people come along and say, no, we're going to change this. But anyway, I want to read a little bit of an article. It's an article by a website called IndieWire, and it is written by somebody by the name of Kristen Lopez. I'll link this article in the description, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. So the article is called "Peter Dinklage Said the Seven Dwarfs Are an Insult, but the reality is more complex." Okay. Oh fuck! I accidentally went on to a different website. Okay. So here it goes. Emmy-winning actor Peter Dinklage has made a point of refusing to take stereotypical roles commonly reserved for little people, but he's never been one to address the challenges that him and other LP, which is an acronym for little people, actors face in Hollywood. That changed during an interview on Mark Maron's January 24th WTF podcast. During a conversation regarding Disney's upcoming live-action remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Dinklage praised Disney for casting a Latina actress as Snow White, but condemned them from continuing to present what he believed were outdated stereotypes. Literally no offense to anything, but I was sort of taken aback, he said. They were very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Take a step back and look at what you're doing there. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that fucking backward story about seven dwarves living in a cave together. Have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough. The day of the interview's publication, Disney stated that it wanted to consult with members of the dwarfism community on the film. A day later, the studio changed tactics. It would change the dwarf characters to magical creatures created with CGI, and that's where the real trouble began. Okay, well, I'm obviously not going to read you the whole article because I'm not really allowed to on YouTube, but I do think this is a very interesting and a well-written article, and it brings up a lot of good points, but I don't agree with it entirely. And here, it says here, and Dinklage weighing in is something new. In fact, it's so unusual that one disabled actor who spoke to IndieWire on condition of anonymity said they believe Dinklage was speaking in jest. Now, I don't think it's fair to say that because we don't know what Peter Dinklage may or may not be saying behind the scenes. Like, maybe publicly he might not be vocal about issues, but maybe on set or in like back rooms he might be really trying to make a change. And to be fair, we don't know that. But I don't think it's fair to be like, I think he was speaking in jest, trying to mock the community. Like, I think that's a really unfair thing who said. I don't think it's fair to be mad at Peter Dinklage for this, and I think this raises a bigger issue within the disabled community, not just about like disability in Hollywood, but just the disabled community in general. I sometimes feel like I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. And what I mean by that is when Peter Dinklage does not speak out on an issue, people are like, oh, he doesn't care about the community. he's just reaping the benefits, and he's just like a token disabled person in the community, and he's fine with that. But then, on the other hand, when he does speak out, and when Hollywood ends up doing something about it, people are mad because Hollywood didn't do what they wanted them to do. But instead of getting mad at Hollywood and getting mad at the producers and the casting directors of this film, they get mad at Peter Dinklage. And I don't think that's fair. He wasn't involved in this project. I don't even know if he contacted like producers or anything. He simply stated his opinion on a podcast. What do you want this man to do? Because when he doesn't speak out, you get mad at him for that, which, like, I understand why people do get mad at that. Because it's like, if you're in a position of privilege where you've been able to be successful, you should then open doors for other people. But on the other hand, then when he does speak out, and when there's fallout, and when things happen that people don't want to happen, then they go and blame him. And it's like, he didn't tell Hollywood to scrap the whole idea. But also, it's like, do we really want to keep remaking Snow White? Like, we should have disabled characters and little people as characters in every type of movie. People shouldn't be typecast. Little people should be able to star in like rom-coms, and they should be able to star in action flicks and horror movies as something other than like the monster, because we don't need that. But my point being, maybe we don't want another remake of Snow White, and maybe if we use our, and maybe this is just me being hopeful, but maybe if we use our collective power as a community of not watching this movie, of boycotting this movie, maybe Disney and other production companies will take note and be like, we need to do better. And so that's why I'm making this video, is to tell, obviously, big executives in Hollywood are not watching this video right now, but if there happens to be one, do better. Actually consult with the disabled community before making these decisions. And also, how about you cast disabled people all the time, not just when there's like a typecast role where it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, or Wizard of Oz Munchkins, or like in a biopic about a disability rights activist. Like, why can't disabled people be cast in any type of movie, in any type of role? And that is where I'm going to end off today. I'm going to hop off my soapbox right now. If you enjoyed this, or if you learned something, or if it made you think, please give this a big thumbs up, because it really does help push this video out into the algorithm so more people can see this video. And if you would like to see more of my content, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.